I quit on SSL. This is the 5 main reasons why I'm letting go of these controllers and why I'm sticking to the Console 1 ecosystem by Softube. Hit the music. So I can't believe that I am even talking about this. I never thought this day would come, but see this controller here? It's about 17 by 10, and it simply doesn't fit on my desk. Used to have 2 of these, and so you can imagine that was a nightmare logistically just to try and get organized. I bought a stand like this, which kind of helped for some time, and I can't tell you the amount of videos that I've watched where people are gutting their desk for what? Just to have a digital controller that's not even affecting their sound. And so for that very reason, the controller was hindering real estate. It was messing up my studio workflow and studio organization. So reason number 1, I am switching over to the Console 1 Mark III, which if you haven't seen that video, please check it out. It's on my channel, is simply because of desk space. Oh my goodness, and you guys know my frustration if you've been following my channel with the Mackie control protocol. It is an absolute mess, and while it is true that the UF1 made it a little bit better, I was a little bit clear about the workflow. Something just wasn't right and something wasn't sitting well when I was working on various songs. And while I tried to make it work, and while I really did want to love SSL, and I do love a lot of their other products on many levels, I still work with the Big 6. I love the bus compressor. I love the Bus Plus, but I just could not make this work. And so that is reason number 2. I am ditching SSL because the Mackie protocol, which in all fairness it's not really SSL's fault. It's just something that needs to be updated for producers, beat makers everywhere. Yeah, so reason number 2, Mackie control madness. Every time I set up a new assignment or I learned a new assignment, it just kept forgetting. And even though the SSL 360 software did a really good job of, somewhat staying organized and saving my ideas, everything just faltered at the last stage, which was the connection from SSL 360 to the Mackie protocol, and it always just seemed to fall apart. And so for that reason, I am ditching SSL and moving over to Softube Console 1, which is just much more easier to work with. I don't have to try and do anything. Everything just works. Okay, so reason number 3 is redundancy. I don't know about you, but I got really frustrated with the fact that you could do basically everything you could do on this controller on that controller, and things got just like really messy and clunky, like I'm hitting my mic stand here. I didn't like that the UF8 was doing things that the UC1 could do. You can control transport with the UC1, and you can control transport with the UF1 and the UF8, and there was like all this menu diving that I had to do, and I couldn't work with it anymore. I really did attempt for many months, many songs, and I just couldn't find the flow, and I kept coming back to the Console 1 Mark II at the time, and I went back and forth for a couple weeks where I would set up the Softube ecosystem and I would, feel the flow there, and everything was always seamless and always flawless for me within Logic Pro. And so you have to remember that when I'm talking about my situation here, I'm really just talking about a Logic Pro user experience. I'm sure this thing rips like on, I don't know, Reaper or Bitwig or some of those DAWs, but it just doesn't seem to work at all with Logic Pro, and I don't think there's any going back. And so for that reason, again, I am out. So reason number 4 I've talked about at length on my other videos, which I will link in the description, but the fact that the workflow was very awkward. I would try and get into either creating macros or what have you, and things just always seem to slip through the cracks. Sometimes I'd jump on Logic and things wouldn't even work, and so I'd have to throw away my my control surfaces list or C list and start that whole process all over again. And again, that goes back to the Mackie control protocol. But here's the bottom line. If you're investing, I think this thing was like 1,200. I think the UF1 was like 800. The UC1, same thing. If you're investing thousands of dollars, in my humble opinion, everything should work. Everything should work well. Everything should be stable. You shouldn't have to think about any of this. This should just be an afterthought, and you should be lost in the music, lost in either learning if you're new, or lost in, post-production methodologies like, automation, mastering, things like that. You shouldn't have to be thinking about, is my controller going to work today? And so when you get to that point, for any piece in your studio that's not actually complementing what it is that you're doing, I say you ditch it. I think we can do much more effective work with a trackpad and or a mouse and your computer, right? If it's not benefiting or helping you make progress on a deep level, then what's the point? And for my last reason, you're not actually going to believe this. I'm going to pull up some screenshots here, and I'm going to show you the primary reason. It's the main reason why I am ditching the SSL ecosystem. Now, if you look closely, you can see that while I was using the SSL 360 software and the controllers, that I was using up to 46.6% CPU. That's right, you heard that right. 46.6 CPU. Now, I by no means am a computer geek. Do I understand all the inner workings of a computer, how these things work kind of underneath the hood? But I can tell you something. If any piece of software besides my interface is using anything more than 30% of what I am doing, I'm done. There's no reason why any piece of software, I don't care how cool it is, I don't care how edgy and interesting it is, should be using 46.6% of your CPU. Here, let me pull up another screenshot just so you can see this wasn't a one-time offense. This happened over and over again while I was working on some, pretty heavy sessions. I'm somebody that's busy. I've got a lot of different jobs, got a lot of different opportunities, and I cannot skip a beat. I have to be in the flow, in the zone every single day. So here's another instance. SSL 360 Core, 40%. So this is an app I'm using called App Tamer, and it just gives me a sense of kind of what's working in the background. I kept seeing this on a day-to-day basis. At one point, I got so fed up because my playhead kept getting stuck. I was having insane playback issues, and I own a Mac Studio, like the decked out Mac Studio. I saved money for a year to get it, and I was just thinking, this isn't worth it anymore, right? It's not fun anymore. And when this or anything isn't fun anymore, I just simply don't see the point in it. I didn't see the investment worth it anymore. I think it's a great tool to learn mixing. Maybe if I was working, on some demos or something, or if I was working out in the field and showing people how to mix, I think it's a nice tool in that manner. But when we're actually trying to get the job done, we're trying to get paid, we're trying to meet deadlines, it's simply not a workable solution. So if we take a look at console 1 at the moment, you can see that it's only taking up, let's say 3.6% of my CPU, averaging at about 4%. See, that's workable. That's something that I can personally work with. I think life has a lot of complexities already, and so for me, it is vital to have simplicity, some sense of minimalism where I know where to go, I know where to reach, I know what cable to grab. I don't want anything to hinder my workflow. And so, guys, that is the ultimate reason why I am leaving the SSL ecosystem. This is why I am quitting on SSL. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. It is a sad day indeed, but I am using Softube Console 1 at the moment, and the truth is I am loving it. If I go back to workflow, The fact that I can access 6 sends on this controller with the touch of a button, that's all I need. I don't need any more than 6 sends. I mean, honestly, I don't use any more than 3 for the most part. And so I've got 2 EQs, 2 shape modules, 2 compressors. What else do I need? At some point, you're going to have to make a decision about how you want to work and what is important to you. At this juncture in my life, I prioritize and really just love efficiency. I want to be simple. I want things to be straightforward, and I want to be able to troubleshoot anything and everything within a moment's time. I really wanted to love this product on so many different levels, but if it doesn't make the cut, then it doesn't make the cut. So due to these limitations, I will be sticking to Softube Console 1, and I plan on making some more videos about that in general. If there's anything that you would like to see on this channel, keep me posted. I've got a lot of ideas, and I'm feeling super grateful, super motivated. And so let's keep working our way up here. I'm going to get out of here. Stay up, stay happy, stay focused on what you want. God bless. We'll see you later. Thank you.